For over 8 months now, since Simchat Torah, the Israeli army of the Jewish state has been front and center in Jewish consciousness, and indeed the world over. And we've seen an incredible self-sacrifice, a Mesirat Nefesh, for the Jewish people, the state of Israel, and the future of Jewish destiny, which has been revealed, unfortunately, through pain and hardship in that day, but which continues incredible dedication and self-sacrifice. The IDF, tzava Haganah Yisrael, is front and center in world and Jewish affairs. But the truth is that in this week's parasha, as we begin the Book of Bamidbar, this week and this book, the army, tzava, is front and center. Incredibly, the word tzava appears, yotzei tzava tzivotam, the word tzava appears, army, 36 times in this week's parasha alone, 73 times in the whole book, meaning over half, meaning this is the book of the army. This week, this parasha is the parasha of the army. And in the whole Torah, the Chumash, the other 4 books, the word tzava appears 14 times. So it appears in this parasha more than a number of times more than in the whole Torah. And of course, this is the book of the tzava. And it is incredible to note, says the Ramban, that this is the secret of the counting in this week's parasha and later on in the book. The sages call this book Chumash Apkudim, the book of counting. Who is counted? And this answers the unusual question. Why are we only counting males above the age of 20? And according to our sages, between 20 and 60. What about the men and women, the young boys and girls before the age of 20? What about the women between 20 and 60? And what about all the men and women over the age of 60? Are they not important? Of course they're important. But says the Ramban in his commentary to chapter 1, verse 45, he says, the counting over here is those yotzei tzava Yisrael. It says explicitly, those going out to fight. And these are the people going out to fight. So in essence, what is happening in this book, as the Jewish people prepare to leave the desert and go into the land, they're preparing to do the inevitable and unfortunate reality of life as a people, to fight for the values that they and we believe in. And what is unusual to note, an incredible point, is that the army, not only today the IDF, but the army since time immemorial as Jews, has always been a people's army. We have never, the Jewish people since time immemorial, from this week's parasha, are not an army of schirei cherev, of mercenaries, not an army of slaves, and not only an army of part of the people, but what is incredible is every single one of the 12 tribes had to send representatives to fight in the battle, and each one was counted. Showing, says the Ramban, that we don't only rely on miracles, but we now have to count the soldiers who prepare for battle, but also that they represent and are shlichim of the entire nation. So much so that later on in Parashat Matot, when there's only 12,000 people selected to fight against the Midyanim, Hashem commands Moshe and he says, 1,000 from every tribe. There has to be equality. Every single tribe has to send the same amount, 1,000. We see an incredible point of the nature of a Jewish army since time immemorial until today. We are a people's army. We fight our own battles because we are fighting together. I think I heard the incredible fact that in Goa, in India, where so many Israelis go to escape the hustle bustle of Israeli life, on the 7th of October, there were tens of thousands of Israelis and tens of thousands of Russians. And the Russians who were there, many had been there to escape the war in Russia. And they couldn't believe that immediately all the Israelis got up to return. And they said, we don't understand. We left a war zone. You going back to a war zone? Yes, because the Jewish people are small and committed people. We are one for all and all for one. Our soldiers represent all of Israeli society, and they are there as our shlichim. That's how they were in the desert. That's how in the entrance to Israel. That's how we're in King David's army, and that's how we are today. We are a people's army, by the people, of the people, and for the people. And therefore our soldiers, I say in conclusion, are our shlichim. They are us. We are them, and they are us. And that is the incredible shlichut, that when you don the army uniform, you fight on behalf of all of the Jewish people. And indeed, when you put on that uniform, you're no longer a part, or you're no longer a yachid, you're now Reshut HaRabim. You're now no longer concerned for your life, you're concerned for the life and destiny of the Jewish people. In order to limsor hanefesh, please God, with dedication and in life for Hashem, for the Jewish people and the land of Israel. And we hope and pray that the horrific price already paid by so many soldiers and civilians since October 7th, Simchat Torah, would be the last price to be paid, that our soldiers, Hashem, should guide them and bless them to return every one of the 124 hostages, as we speak to the 124, including the body of our son Daniel, to that every single one of them should be safe, that we should be able to dismantle the evil infrastructure of Hamas, that such a thing never happens again, and that all of the 100,000 civilians not yet returned to their homes should all return. And Be'ezrat Hashem, from Parashat Bamidbar, of Kol Yotzei Tzava B'Yisrael, the shlichim of the Jewish people, of all of us, in the merit of them being our shlichim, that they are us and we are them, we should see miracles and incredible things for the Jewish people. Shabbat Shalom, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.